Honorable Chair, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to His Excellency Mr. Jürg Lauber of Switzerland and the whole Bureau of the Human Rights Council on their election. We wish you every success and stand ready to support your important mission. Today, as the world continues to face the consequences of violent conflicts, forced displacement, and gross violations of fundamental rights, the urgency to strengthen the human rights pillar of the United Nations is as relevant as ever. The scale and severity of atrocity crimes and grave violations, as well as our collective inability neither effectively prevent nor ensure accountability, put at risk the whole set of fundamental values upon which the United Nations and its human rights system were created, basic norms on which all and each of us agreed without reservation. Against this background, the role and visibility of the human rights system has increased dramatically. More and more people, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders engage with the Human Rights Council, refer to special procedures and treaty body mechanisms. This comes to testify that the human rights pillar remains the inspiration of hope and justice for millions of people, for our citizens. Honorable Chair, I am proud to state that even in most trying times, Armenia continues to make progress in consolidating and strengthening its democratic institutions, enhancing judicial independence, and combating corruption to build a more equal and just society. We have recently established the national mechanism for implementation, reporting, and follow-up of human rights commitments and obligations, and view it as an important domestic mechanism to mainstream rights-based approach in all policy areas. Later this year, Armenia will be presenting its fourth Universal Periodic Review, which has been concluded based on numerous rounds of consultations between governmental and non-governmental organizations, actors. Armenia remains steadfast in its commitment to the protection and promotion of human rights domestically and globally. We strive to provide platforms for diverse voices and find solutions to the most acute issues of human rights and humanitarian domains. In this regard, last year, in December, Armenia hosted the 5th Global Forum Against Crime of Genocide. The forum gathered officials, eminent experts, representatives of international organizations, United Nations Special Procedure Mandate holders, civil society and academia, who looked at the role that small states can play in shaping and moving forward the prevention agenda, examined the evolution of the UN early warning and early response mechanism, focusing on the necessity to improve operational and policy coherence. Participants also deliberated on functions and roles of various regional and global organizations, as well as global judicial bodies. Armenia also hosted the 8th Ministerial Meeting of the Ancient Civilizations Forum, placing the protection of cultural heritage at the core of its discussions. Next year, we will have pivotal importance for my country and our commitments to advance global environmental goals, as the 17th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity, the COP17, will be taking place in Armenia. We attach utmost importance to organizing an inclusive conference of the parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity. The Armenian presidency will strive to organize a successful conference with full and meaningful participation, including civil society, academia, indigenous people, local communities, women and youth organizations, and other relevant stakeholders. Armenia looks forward to cooperating with the United Nations member states, civil society, and non-governmental organizations in the effective organization of this crucial international environmental conference to bring the global environmental processes back on track for sustainable development and true inclusivity when it comes to multi-stakeholder participation. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 year ago, in my statement, I made extensive references to the challenges that Armenia was facing. Unfortunately, most of those challenges still remain unresolved despite the tremendous efforts of my country. Statements coming from our eastern neighbor continue to question the territorial integrity of Armenia, despite the recognition of each other's territorial integrity based on the 1991 Alma-Ata Declaration, which, among others, had reconfirmed that the administrative boundaries of the Armenian Soviet Socialist Republic and the Azerbaijani Soviet Socialist Republic had become international borders between the two independent republics. Moreover, as we speak, the mock trials against 23 Armenian individuals who are arbitrarily detained are taking place in Azerbaijan, with disregard of human rights standards for due process. 1 year ago, the High Commissioner for Human Rights informed this Council that the OHCHR deployed 2 teams to Armenia to collect information about the situation of more than 115,000 ethnic Armenians from Nagorno-Karabakh. We believe that the results of the mission will be an important contribution towards advancing the reconciliation efforts. The Republic of Armenia, remaining faithful to its agenda on establishment of peace and stability in our region, has made several constructive proposals to the Azerbaijani side, including within the context of the peace agreement, opening of transport infrastructure, mutual arms control and verification mechanism, etc., having in mind the necessity to establish a strategic deal that will resolve all major issues. We remain convinced that constructive response and further engagement and demonstration of political will of both parties will largely contribute to opening a new era of peace in our region. In this very context, I would like to once again reconfirm the willingness of the Armenian side to turn the page of enmity and establish institutionalized peace. We are not only ready for this, but will not divert from this path. And I thank you.